Time now for our game preview presented by Ticketmaster, joined by the head coach of your 5-3 Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski. Coach, 27-0, took care of business against the Cardinals. What did you take away from that one?
You kind of said it, took care of business. I thought, obviously, our defense, you look at the numbers, it was suffocating. They couldn't run it, couldn't throw it. Individual efforts were outstanding. Dalvin Tomlinson was unbelievable. I thought Grant Delpit was really, really good throughout that game. So just to shut them down, and then offensively didn't turn the ball over, which was a very big deal for us. Obviously having Deshaun back out there was a huge boost. So really a job well done for the team to come out of there with a 27-0 win.
There were streamers in the offensive meeting after that clean sheet. You're now 14-2 as head coach of the Browns when the team doesn't turn it over. So I know you stress that all the time, but how good was it to see your quarterback go out there, Deshaun Watson, and lead that type of a performance and show everybody I can drive the ball down the field once again?
Yeah, good to have him back out there, obviously. As you know, he's worked extremely hard to put himself back out there. So for him to get through the whole week of practice, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, look like himself, perform like we know he's capable of, and then in that game to be able to lead his team, score 27 points, not turn the ball over, I thought was a really good first step.
Some of those throws were impressive, but I thought on 3rd and 11, that 13-yard run took a big hit, popped up, and to me that was kind of like, okay, he is all the way back. Did you have a sense of that as well?
Well, you knew in that game he was going to have to run. In every game, the quarterback's going to have to run. That's part of his game. It makes us difficult to defend. At the end of those runs, sometimes you have to put your head down, and he did that, and there was no hesitation whatsoever from him.
All right, on to the Baltimore Ravens, 7-2 atop the division. This is a game, you say these count double, this one could count triple. This is a big, big game for the Browns, trying to get level with them on the season. They're very good on offense, they're very good on defense. Start on the D. What's made them so effective?
Well, they have a bunch of good players really at every level of the defense, I think, just from their front to the linebackers, the safeties, the corners. They have good players. I think Coach McDonald does a great job schematically. They can sit back and play coverage. They can cover zero you. They really have the ability to live in both worlds. So it's a huge challenge, and I think the guys understand what the challenge entails, and we're excited about it.
When you have somebody like Roquan Smith kind of as the brain center of a defense, how much more challenging does that make it as a play caller to try to trick him and know that you're probably only going to get him maybe once or twice a game?
Yeah, you know, you go up against these veteran linebackers that have seen a lot. I think about Bobby Wagner a few weeks back. I mean, these guys, they diagnose it. Sometimes they're calling out plays before you even run them. It's what Anthony Walker does to us when we're out here practicing. So those linebackers, you're trying to stay true to your system, but you're also trying to give them something to think about throughout the down.
All right, offensively, Lamar Jackson leading the league in completion percentage, having an MVP type of a season. It's a little bit of an evolution of their offense. How's this offense changed, and why is he thriving in it?
Yeah, it changed a little bit maybe from the first time we played him, got healthy in a couple areas. He can hurt you in a bunch of different ways. In the run game, he's always a threat to pull it. He can play off schedule as good as any quarterback there is. He can make all the throws. Just think about the game that we played against him. There were a couple plays that were off schedule, thrown across his body and throwing accurately. So it's a huge challenge, one that it's not a one-person job. It's all 11 have to do their job. And
you mentioned that because he's so... One guy can get through to him, but if somebody's not in the right lane, he can take off and run, he can get out, and he's been more dangerous this year actually on some of those off-schedule or off-script type of plays, and that's kind of probably counterintuitive for a defense because you want to get them off schedule, but sometimes you don't with Lamar Jackson.
Well, you know, having played him over the years, the play's never over until you hear that whistle. So, you know, they do a good job trying to play on schedule too. They have really good receivers, good tight end, obviously. So it's our job to play as long as the down requires us to play.
So it's a three-phase game. Talked a little offense, talked a little defense. We got to talk about our special teams because this feels like, you know, Dustin Hopkins playing at an elite level. Corey Bojorquez has been a real weapon for you. The coverage teams have been good. Prochet gave you a little juice in that punt return game. How have you seen this special teams unit evolve under Bubba Ventrone, and how important will they be against a Ravens team that's also good in all three phases? Yeah,
it's a great challenge for our teams. And you mentioned Prochet gave us some juice back there, somebody that we trust and can get vertical. You know, I think the specialists have been really on point. You mentioned Dustin; he's come through for us, and Corey I thought was outstanding in the last game. I mean, and then it takes everybody. You have to cover that as well. So really impressed with those guys. As you know, when you're playing Baltimore, you're going to be in for a 60-minute fight, including special teams.
How important is it to start fast in this one? Because that's really been when they've gotten a lead, they've really put the hammer down.
Yeah, that's if you see the last two home games that Detroit and Seattle went in there and got behind early. So you have to be on point early. You have to really own the plan, as we say. So early in the game, you can have some success.
Coach, thanks so much for the time, and best of luck against the Ravens.
Thanks, Nathan.